You finally got at that thing you've been chasing for years. The promotion, the house, the body, the bank account number, the partner, the acceptance letter, the exit. You worked weekends, sacrificed sleep, told yourself, when I get this, I'll be happy. And then you got it, and you felt almost nothing. Maybe a flicker like a match in a hurricane, then gone, and then came the quiet horror. Is this all there is? Did I ruin my life for this? Here's the paradox that will sit on your chest in the dark. In America, success doesn't make you feel successful. It makes you feel like a fraud, because the moment you achieve something, your brain does two things. It releases a tiny squirt of dopamine that's already been spent on anticipation years. And it immediately raises the goalposts. So now you're terrified of losing the promotion, drowning in the mortgage, obsessing over maintaining the weight, and the whole thing becomes a moving sidewalk that speeds up the moment you step on it, a hedonic treadmill that psychology named and I call the golden handcuffs made of your own ambition. But here's what's weirder than the emptiness of success, the relief of failure. Think about the last big thing you failed at, the job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the business that collapsed. In the moment it felt like death, but a month later, didn't you feel lighter? Didn't you sleep better? Didn't you suddenly have permission to be a human being instead of a presume? Failure in America is supposed to be shameful, but secretly it's the only time we give ourselves a break, because success demands more success while failure demands nothing except the quiet dignity of having tried. And that's the cognitive trap. We worship winning, but our nervous system finds relief in losing, a pattern confirmed by a study that followed people who hit major career and income milestones and found their happiness levels right back at baseline 6 months later, while those who failed dipped for a while and then rose above baseline because failure gave them permission to stop pretending. Now here's the reversal that makes this worth letting sink in twice. The most successful Americans aren't the ones who achieve the most. They're the ones who learn to want what they already have, which sounds like a greeting card but is hard neuroscience. The default mode network quiets down when you practice genuine enoughness, and a quiet brain is a content brain. Yet American culture doesn't teach wanting what you have. It teaches wanting what you don't have, getting it, then wanting something else, and we call that machine the American dream. Let me tell you about David, a software engineer who did everything right, top of his class, big tech by 25, stock options, ambitious wife, 2 kids in private school, Tesla, vacation home, and he was miserable, the kind where he'd sit in the garage for 20 minutes before going inside. He told his therapist, "I have everything I was told to want, so why do I feel like I'm drowning?" The therapist asked a question that changed his life. When was the last time you did something you were terrible at? David couldn't remember. He never did anything he was bad at, because he was too busy being successful. So he took up pottery, not to sell, not to post, not to become a potter, just to be bad at something, and in that sweaty, lopsided, ugly as sin pottery class, he felt something he hadn't felt in a decade. Joy, not achievement joy, but the joy of a child making a mess. He realized success had stolen his permission to be a beginner. And without being a beginner, you can never truly learn. And without learning, you can never truly grow. And without growing, you're just a hamster on a wheel you built yourself. The American cognitive paradox sits right here. We chase success to feel whole, but success fragments us. We fear failure like death, but failure is the only thing that reminds us we're alive. The only people who escape the success trap are the ones who redefine winning. They don't stop achieving, but they stop needing to achieve. They pursue goals with their identity detached from the outcome. They celebrate failure as data. They take up hobbies they'll never be good at. They let themselves be mediocre on purpose, and in that mediocrity they find the peace success could never buy. Right now your brain may resist, because this sounds like settling, but settling is giving up, while serenity is giving up the need to win while still playing the game, a quiet art that almost no one masters. And the question that started this, why does success feel like nothing and failure feel like relief, has an answer that the first viewing only half unpacks. You were never supposed to feel done, because the machine needs you hungry. But you are not the machine. You're the one who can step off. Look at everything you already have and recognize that enough is not a finish line but a waking up. So now, if you feel a quiet recognition, maybe an impulse stirring to let yourself be imperfect on purpose, follow that thread, not as a strategy, but as a small private rebellion, and go fail at something you've never tried, not to prove anything, but just to remember what it feels like to be alive, without a scoreboard. That's an order.